reason number one is that they're fun. Maybe we should have went with the reasons not to ride and started with number one, they're dangerous, and then here comes that. What's up, everybody? Instructor Cory here. Welcome back to the channel. Me and Instructor Val are headed up to town to actually do a little bit of practicing on the motorcycles. There's a little high school up there, nice big parking lot, so I'm gonna go pop in and throw down some cones and do a little bit of practicing, because I'm always an advocate to my students to practice as much as possible and keep training and be a lifelong learner and improve your skills constantly, because motorcycling and all these skills and techniques you learn are perishable. So you always want to be practicing and keeping them fresh and improving upon them. So even us as two awesome motorcycle instructors, we can improve our skills and head up to town and just find a little parking lot and practice, like I always suggest all of you do. So while we're on the way there, we're also going to work on a little video here today, and today's video is going to be 5 reasons that you should ride a motorcycle. And then of course, you know, later on I'm going to have the flip side, which will be 5 reasons not to ride a motorcycle. So after you watch this one, you can look forward to that one. But today we're going to start with the positive note, which is the 5 reasons to ride a motorcycle. And reason number one is that they're fun. Maybe we should have went with the reasons not to ride and started with number one, they're dangerous, and then here comes that. You know, jet skis, snow machines, cars, trucks, ATVs, side-by-sides. I've gone out and played on them all, and motorcycles are where it's at. They're so much fun on these 2 wheels. I've even ridden 3-wheelers, and they're pretty fun, but motorcycles, these 2 wheels, being able to maneuver this bike around, balance, flicker around, lean, go around turns, speed up, slow down. Even that Dyna Days we were at this weekend, people are jumping motorcycles and drifting and all kinds of cool stuff. It's almost an endless list of possibilities on a motorcycle as far as how much fun you can have and all the different things you can do on these awesome machines to have some fun. If you're a brand new rider or considering riding a motorcycle and you're wondering, you know, you're concerned about the dangers and you're kind of not sure if motorcycling is right for you, and you think it sounds kind of fun, it looks cool on some videos, but you're just not sure if it's really going to do it for you, ask yourself this question. Do you like roller coasters? Do you like amusement parks? Do you like kind of an adrenaline rush? Me, I'm an adrenaline junkie. Anything high speed, fast, skydiving, mountain climbing, snowboarding, I'm all about it. So yeah, ask yourself that question. If you like fun, intense stuff, then you can definitely have a lot of fun riding motorcycles. Not to say that you have to go fast on them. You can definitely ride real chill and relaxed and take your time.
You like my example of how fun riding is?
Yeah, I was just talking about it and then he came blasting past. See how much it takes to fill her up. Ooh. Less than $10. So that brings us into reason number 2 to ride a motorcycle, which is they're super cheap, especially on gas. Alright, so high school now. Okay. All right. Reason number 2 to ride a motorcycle is they are cheap. As you saw, we got pretty much full tank of gas. I don't think we were totally bone dry, but we filled her up for less than 10 bucks, and that's using the 91 octane premium gas. If there was a Shell around here, I would even go for the 93 octane, and I'm sure it'd still be pretty cheap. Probably right around 10 bucks. And then I think it was only like 2.2 gallons. So I want to say this is maybe a 4 or 4.5 gallon tank on this 2004 ZX6R. You can find a really cool motorcycle, especially a beginner bike, a 300, 500 cc good beginner bike, on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or wherever for probably a couple grand, you know. I think we got Instructor Val's Honda Rebel 500. It's a 2017, and I want to say we found it on Craigslist for like 4 grand, maybe 5 grand it was listed. And then I think I talked the guy down to like 3,500, something like that, because it needed some new tires and some other stuff. But other than that, it was in really good shape and didn't really need anything special or expensive. I don't know what the mileage was on it to start. I don't remember anymore, but it only had like a couple thousand miles on it, I want to say. You can get a really good, awesome beginner motorcycle that you'll love and ride for many years for really cheap. And then you can put gas in it for really cheap and ride it all over the place and have a ton of fun. And because it's so cheap, that makes it even more fun. Especially for someone like me, who I'm extremely poor. So anything cheap that I can do that is fun, it makes it more fun if it's cheap. As long as you stick with you know, routine maintenance, oil changes, lube your chain, check your tire pressure. You know, you'll get nails and screws in your tires and have to replace those once in a while. And that can get a little pricey depending on the tires you're getting, but other than that, you're just putting gas in the thing, oil changes, lube once in a while. Third reason to ride a motorcycle is independence. Like me and Instructor Val, for example, right here, we're able to just say, what time is it? 6:30 in the afternoon. We got nothing else really going on. It's pretty nice out. Let's go hop on the bikes, cruise up to town, and practice. Just having that option for independence to be able to be like, hey, you want to go for a bike ride? And depending on how we're feeling, you know, sometimes I get a wild hair in my butt and we could end up riding our bikes all the way to Estes Park.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago we did that. Just wanted to go for a short cruise and took a 3-hour ride.
Right, yeah, so perfect example, the big trip we did all the way up to like Fort Collins, Horsetooth, all that. And yeah, we were like, hey, let's go for a quick bike ride. Maybe 20-30 minutes is like an average ride, maybe an hour, and we were gone for like 3 or 4 hours, I want to say, round trip. Having that option to say to yourself, I want to go ride my motorcycle and I don't really have a destination picked out, and you can just hop on the bike and go. And that's always one of my favorite things, especially starting out, was hopping on my motorcycle and just cruising down the street and then just deciding where I was going as I went, you know. And eventually I'd usually end up at the beach when I was in Florida, so that always worked out. But because if you go far enough east or west, you'll always end up at the beach. You could hop on your bike and go camping. You could hop on your bike and just do a cross-country trip, as long as you got enough money in your bank account for gas and stuff, and a AAA card in case you break down. Having that kind of freedom, that independence, is really a huge thing when it comes to motorcycling, and a big reason a lot of people like to ride is that they can just hop on their bike and go anywhere, anytime, and not have anybody to stop them. Alright, we got a fresh battery. Instructor Val is gonna go ride on Inaki, and I get to play on Sleipner. Inaki. as we're going around on this little test ride for her to practice on the Naki, we're gonna touch on the fourth reason that you should ride a motorcycle, and that is to meet cool people. For example, we just went to that Harley Davidson Dyna Days over the weekend, and there was, you know, a couple hundreds of people there, all from all walks of life, all there for motorcycles and the enjoyment of riding and that kind of community. Be involved in some sort of capacity of motorcycles, riding, that culture, that kind of independent and free outlook and mentality. There's also bike nights, especially during the summer. There's like a bike night almost every week. You know, you can go on group rides, you can meet communities on social media and join groups, and they meet up, you know, once a week on the weekends maybe, and do a big group ride. A bunch of them go together, cruise for hours on end all around, and then come back. And so there's kind of unlimited potential for meeting cool people and cruising around and enjoy motorcycling. Or, you know, even if you don't have a bike yet, but you're thinking about it, you can go to those events like Dyna Days and bike nights. You can just show up there and walk around on foot and meet people who are beginners like you, people who have been riding for a couple years, people who have been riding for 40 years, all their life. You can meet all these different sorts of people who are involved in motorcycles in some way, shape, or form. You can get their personal feelings on motorcycling and see what they have to say about it and their thoughts and feelings on it, and maybe they'll encourage you to to get into it. You know, you can hear their stories and see what they have to say, pros and cons, stuff like that, and you can make up your own mind if motorcycling is something that you want to get into. So as a beginner, I could strongly encourage you to go and check all that out and meet those people and talk to them and see if you can learn anything. And then you might just meet some really cool people and decide to start riding, and then you end up like me and Instructor Val here, and you can go ride around with them and learn and practice together and work on your skills and grow and help each other grow. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. Yeah, never get any footage of my own motorcycle because I'm always riding it. There we go. So now we got Instructor Val on the lead on my bike. It's looking good. Get up next to her so we can check it out a little bit. Even when you're riding your bike down the road on your own ride, just going for a cruise or going to run some errands, if you run into another biker on the street, there's a good chance they might try to kind of pull up next to you in line here like I am with Instructor Val, and they might ride with you for a while just to kind of be in the pack with another bike. It's happened to me a lot when I was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Florida. You know, anytime I'd pass another bike, it's like they get all excited like a moth to the flame and want to come cruise right next to me and cruise around with me. All right, so I think that brings us to numero 5. So reason number 5 that you should ride a motorcycle. It's like, look, yep, she sees it. Not playing around. Reason number 5 that you should ride a motorcycle is that it is easy to learn. Especially if you get training from Instructor Cory and Instructor Val. We can teach you how to ride these things real good. But seriously, nowadays there's training you can take everywhere. Total Control, MSF, Harley Davidson Riding Academy, Iron Buffalo, whatever it is, wherever you live, there's some form of motorcycle training. I just heard about a new one last night. I reached out to them to see if they want some instructors to come work for them. Is Clutch motorcycle training, something like that, in the Loveland area. Nice bike. Look good. Yeah, you like this one? There you go. Get a little look at her. Maybe. Blinker. Good call. Giving a little juice. I like it. So yeah, back to reason number 5 here. It's really easy to learn how to ride a motorcycle. You can go get training. You can check out YouTube videos. You can read books. There's all kinds of resources out there available to you, right? Lee Park's book, Total Control. I definitely recommend Twist of the Wrist. It is Keith Code. Old school video you can find on YouTube. Really cheesy acting, but really good information, and it's a great resource for beginners and people looking to get into motorcycling. So there's tons of resources out there to help you learn, and then that's as far as learning kind of the mental and kind of maturity aspects of motorcycling. And then as far as physical, being on the bike, technical skills, you can go sign up for a course all over the place, take as many courses as you can get your hands on, and just practice. And that's most of these courses. You can go take a training course if you don't even have a motorcycle yet. So they supply the bikes for you. Most of them are like little 250s and different training bikes. A lot of the bikes we use currently are 250s, 300s, 310s. So we got a whole wide variety of cool stuff. I think we even have a 350, the Meteor. So show up with the gear. We even have helmets to lend you, let you borrow a helmet, and you can come out and practice. And then if you get a bike of your own, you can do exactly what we did. Take your bike up to town, go find a little parking lot, and practice until the sun goes down, and learn some skills. And you can ride motorcycles.